Hi everyone, welcome. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what is Terraform. Okay, so if you're a beginner, you want to get a grips of what Terraform, you need to capture the concept and follow my videos. From henceforth, I'll be doing more video in and around Terraform. So what is it actually? So it is an infrastructure as a code tool. You've heard this before. What is it actually? So infrastructure as a code tool help you to manage your infrastructure. Infrastructure, what is it? These are your network, your database, your compute services in the cloud or on premises. So Terraform itself, it is an infrastructure provisioning tool and also help you to manage your infrastructure after you have provisioned it. Okay, in a nutshell, what is it? That's what it provides you, and this is more of what we call HashiCorp declarative language. That's what it uses. So this is provided by HashiCorp, and we use its language to do it to create this. Okay, so remember, it's an infrastructure provisioning tool, and we can use it to manage our infrastructure. What is the management? It involves updating, deleting, or even adding more, creating, or adjusting your resource going forward. That is what Terraform is about. Remember, it's mainly for infrastructure provisioning too. Okay, so if I move forward, why do we need this? Okay, if you've been watching my previous video, I've been working in and around what we call AWS cloud provider. By that, I have been creating resources, I've been provisioning resources. So I've been doing them manually. I log into the console and then I point to the GUI and then I'll click and then I'll create. What are the problems this thing can bring? Sometimes you might forget, so the configuration, what you need, it can be difficult if you are not there. It's difficult for you to remember what you've been created. So what Terraform is going to give you is you are going to codify it. You're going to write your infrastructure in the form of a code, and this will give you what we call consistency and reproducibility. You can reuse your code every now and then. Okay, imagine you have your, let's say, your dev environment. You codify, you can easily move the same code to staging environment into another environment, and therefore it makes it more easier to reuse, and your code or your deployment stage will be much quicker, and you get consistency in this. Terraform also is more what we call cloud agnostic. Okay, you can connect to any cloud provider. You have thousands of them: Azure, AWS, GCP, you can name them. Okay, and Terraform again helps you to you manage your resources. Like I said, you can update, you can delete, you can basically create and do whatever you want to do with your resources. So resource management comes in. And what I like about this is, for the collaboration and teamwork. So when you codify this, so you write your code, you can version them. Okay. When you version them, you can push your code for a review. Your team can also have a look at your code and give you feedback. You are collaborating, job is a good one. Okay, it also nicely integrates with other tools and makes your work much easier and faster. So this is why you need it. Mine, the reason why I love Terraform most is line number two: consistency, reusability. Okay, resource management. So line number two, free, and four. This is what I love about it. So collaboration, resource management, consistency, reproducibility. This is what Terraform gives you: infrastructure provisioning. Okay, so this is what we get, and here is, I would say, the component you need to understand how Terraform works. So when you have issues, when something is failing, you have kind of a general understanding of the behavior of Terraform. So this slide is specifically, I'm going to explain to you the behavior, the component part, the moving part of Terraform, what makes it work. Okay, so imagine you, okay, right, you write your code, you write your Terraform code using the syntax which is called HCL, HashiCorp configuration language. Okay, you write it on a file, we call it configuration file. It is a document. Okay, you write a list. It's like to-do list. What you want Terraform to do. Number one, do this. Create EC2. Number three or number two, create S3. Number four, do A, B, C, D. You write all those resources on a file. That document, you call it configuration file. Okay, it can be multiple files or directories. Okay, at the end of that file, okay, you have to end it, or the extension is TF. Okay, so around at the end of the file you put .tf, right? So what you do, you've already installed your Terraform on your machine, so I'll do a separate video on how to install that. You install Terraform and then you send the file to Terraform. So the Terraform core itself is going to read, okay, line by line, okay, what you want. That is your desire. You desire to create, let's say, a list, EC2, S3, IAM, you list them. So it's going to read your desired state, okay? Use what we call your provider, okay? Connect to your provider, okay? And check what you already have. If you have nothing, your current state is nothing, it's empty. So you're going to say, yeah, you want to write this, you want to create this onto this cloud provider, let's say AWS, but for now you have nothing. Therefore, your current state is empty. So it's going to record that. It will execute a plan. So by you saying Terraform a plan, it will execute a plan and tell you what you are going to create. Okay. When you are happy, you accept the plan, the execution plan, and you say Terraform apply. The resource, Terraform will pick it and then provision it to your cloud. Okay, and what it does best is going to keep the current state into what we call Terraform state. Okay, it's like, I would say, is the memory. It's keeping the record of what is done. Okay, so the next time, let's say you make changes to your configuration file, is going to read your current state. Okay, compare it to your desired state, what you have. Okay, using your Terraform state, and it will tell you, yeah, maybe something is going to change, or there's no change to be made, or something is going to happen. You accept it and you go forward to it. So key point, you need your Terraform configuration file. Okay, you need a provider, which cloud provider you are linking to. So the cloud agnostic, multi-cloud, if you are deploying it to any of them, you pick. Okay, you run your Terraform init to initialize your folder. Okay, and then if you have a backend, once you do that, okay, you can run your plan. So you run a plan. Terraform will tell you the execution plan, what you are going to do. Okay, and then you can go forth and apply your changes or update it, or do, let's say, destroy if you want to destroy it. Okay, so this is it. This is the concept. This is the flow that Terraform goes through. Okay, and this is it. So the next page I want to show you is what we call the syntax. So it's configuration language. So you need to understand the structure of the language. Okay, so what you have is what we call, let's start from the bottom here. So to write your syntax, your configuration syntax, okay, Terraform read this line by line. You need what we call your block type. We have so many block type, right? We have the resource block type. So this is a resource block type. Yeah, we have a data block, we have a variable block, we have a backend block, we have a local block, we have a module block. So many blocks depending on what you are doing. Okay, I'll explain in the next page what those block does. Right, the next bit you need is for the block label. So the block label, basically, if you look here, it consists of the cloud provider and the resource you want to create. So the block label here, the first bit, consists of the provider and then the resource you want to create. Okay, the next one, which is another block label, is whatever you want to put here. Okay, it doesn't matter. So in this case, we put main here. So it's just a label. okay, or I would say a local name of this block. Okay, inside the French bracket or the curly bracket, you have what we call an argument. An argument should have a value, so we have your identifier and the value or the expression. Okay, in this case, let's say you have the cider block, you can put either variable here or you can put the actual value for the cider block in here. So remember your syntax, you have your block, you have your block label, which consists of the AWS or the cloud provider and the resource you want to create. The next one is just a local name, whatever you want to put. Inside the curly bracket is what we call an argument. Okay, remember that, an argument. I will mention this at some point and I'll explain what the argument is about. Okay, so this is it. And I believe I'm going to explain what the various block basically. You need to understand this as well, depending on your use case. You always need to have your provider block because Terraform needs to know which cloud provider you are using. You want to connect, you want to provision your resource into. So you provide a provider block. Okay. The next block, if you want to create a resource, okay, you use the resource block. Okay, that will define the infrastructure object you want to create. If it's S3, you say S3, and then you define the various arguments within that. If you want to read the data, okay, what does data block do? So if you have an existing resource running in your cloud, okay, you can use data source to retrieve those information, and those information can be used anywhere else. Okay, so it's just like a read only data block. It's just a read only, block that you can use to retrieve an existing information in the cloud. Variable block will accept an input that you can use, reuse in your block at any point in time in your files, wherever. Output block, this one, if you want to display it, when you create your resource, you want to display it, let's say specific argument that you have created, you can use what we call the output block as well. And we have the modules. So the modules, you have what we call the configuration, which contains your child module. You can reuse this module every now and then. It's just a logical unit that you can pick up and use. So another one, which is the local block. So the local block, if you have an expression that you want to reuse repetitively along your configuration or along your code, you can provide what we call a local block. And we also have a Terraform block. Okay, so you need this if you want to specify your Terraform required provider version, you need that as well. Okay, the backend block, okay, as I mentioned in the previous videos, not the previous video, previous slide, okay, the backend that stores the Terraform state. Okay, it's kind of the memory of what is done. If you want to keep it somewhere, so you configure your backend and then point the state to it. So you can say you want to store the state in, let's say, S3, for example. Okay, you choose it and then you point the file or the state of your backend, okay, the memory of Terraform, you push it to that state, to that storage, which could be S3. And we can also have what we call provider configuration alias, and that is more provide configuration alias block that allow you to configure multiple instances of the same provider with different settings, basically. Okay, so on a higher level, this is what Terraform is trying to do. In summary, it's an infrastructure provisioning tool that you can use to create and manage your resources. Okay, and it uses HashiCorp configuration language, which is more declarative. Okay, so you just need to tell Terraform a little bit of what you need, and the rest is going to, infer and make things happen for you. You don't need to do a lot. Okay, you need this, going forward as a cloud engineer, DevOps engineer. Every company is trying to leverage on this, what we call automation of cloud, I would say, resources. I hope this video helped. Okay, in our next video, probably we will dive in a little bit more. Okay, and follow suit. There will be more coding going forward with Terraform. Okay, there's an exciting time coming soon, so please watch, share this video with your friends who you might think might need this, and follow me as we terraform. Okay, quite interesting. I will see you in our next video. Happy learning. Bye bye.